Hey all, here we are, Soulful Sunday. There's a lot of deep feels going on. And I want to be with those deep feels, but I also want to use the energy, feel my energy, direct my energy. We're in what's called an in-between space, like sunset and sunrise, considered powerful times of magic. The solstice is another in-between times, Halloween, Beltane. Once again, in-between magic. Dark moon, in-between magic. Tearing down the old. We're in the space before we create the new. So, this is the page I happen to be working on today. Doorway lore. I'm not in my planner. I'm actually in the book Witch Life. Shared a couple things I've done here. I'm really vibing with this particular book, and because she only printed on one side for the most part, I'm able to delve deeper, use different tools, mix it up, right? And that when you mix up your tools, it inspires creativity and firing synapses, creating new connections. But in the beginning of Welcome to Witch Life, and we'll go back to the doorway lore, but this sums it up for me. A witch is one who claims control over her own destiny, harnessing intention and will along with the elements of air, earth, fire, water, and spirit. She may go against the grain of society, following what's true to her soul's calling instead of living life to the expectations of others. And when your circumstances are shit, it's hard to see that you have the power to direct your own life. But instead of looking at those and tackling those big areas first, we start tackling the smaller areas, directing what elements we put in our body, how we direct our elements into what we do. Energy moves through our joints. Creativity moves through our vagina, our hands, our feet, our throat, and our eyes. So just working within the experience of being human, she says, why not make your home a powerful sacred space and invite the mysterious, spontaneous, and everyday magic to arise? And when we live in the everyday magic, I'm going to go into this more later, but then we can start aligning our own vibration. And I'll share this with another time with you, the spellcrafting basics. But back to the doorway lore, because I want to get to coloring. What stood out for me is doors and windows are magical places, an opportunity to enchant or protect the energy of your home with powerful charms and spell work. In between spaces and portals to other realms, places where magic happens, where energy, people, and elements come in and out. Crazy shit is last week NASA just confirmed there's a parallel universe to our own. Maybe you believe that already. Maybe this is a new belief. We're actually on our way to the full moon. But think about towards the end of the month, as the moon starts to go into the dark moon, it wanes. Take this time to get really clear, because when that waning moon comes, that's the time you want to you're very focused on what you do want to keep out, where you do want protection. And maybe you're going to work on a global level. Maybe you're going to work smaller. Maybe you're going to work on a national level. Maybe you're going to work even smaller. Maybe it's just going to be your city or your town or your neighborhood or your street or your family or your yard. Or maybe it'll just be your own skin. So she's like, this is where anchors come in. Anchors have been used for so long, and they're now used very powerfully in what's called the mindset of a successful person, which is a bit, we're just been doing this forever. But what is it that connects with you? What herbs connect with you? What charms? What would you look at and you'd say, you know what? This reminds me to stay in my power, to stay focused on what I am able within the realm of where I'm at to create safety to my best ability and resources. She suggests a statue of a frog. What if every day you walk by the door, you see the frog, and you're like, hey, I'm pretty fucking powerful in my own way. If you're going to do a visualization, she talks about working with purple doors to symbolize intensifying spirituality, intensifying your awareness, intensifying your focus. Paint the door blue for protection, peace, serenity. If you have a project, if there's a nonprofit or something, that big fucking dream we talked about the other day in your heart, put some coins with a pentagram and your wish, your desire, your dream written down. She says, put in a pot with yellow flowers to invite that energy in. Maybe you're in a situation like myself where right now, due to the time and effort I need to put into rebuilding my health from a traumatic injury, I spend a lot of time at home. So my windows become very important to me. So we can always... Yes, my Vitamix doubles as holding my stretch bands that I work out with. But see this window here? I have a beautiful crystal. My husband's going to get me a hook so that when I look out this window, then the rainbows will bounce off the crystal and dance on the walls. And when I see rainbows dancing on the walls, it reminds me that I am energetically a rainbow, dancing in a quantum field of potentiality. So if there was a time when we had no gay rights, there was a time we had no women's rights, there was a time where we owned people, many of these times went through the in-between space. They all did. They all went through the in-between space, as my dog's playing, of where the old falls away. It is torn down. And sometimes we have to really fucking get somebody's attention. And I've burned a lot of fucking bridges in my day. Some with people I wish our journey could have arrived differently, but once again, I look at my decisions and I see how they were led. When I was younger, I burned down a lot of bridges where my anger just freaking exploded out of me. I remember I had been sick, I was tired, I had to get up for a 6 a.m. breakfast shift, and then I went and met some friends for dinner. I came home late, and my parents called me in the kitchen and told me I needed to do A, B, and C before my next 6 a.m. breakfast shift. And if I didn't like it, I could leave. And in that moment, I just snapped. I looked at them. I said, okay. I walked into my bedroom. I woke my boyfriend up because my parents were cool like that. There was things my parents were cool about. There was things my parents just did not understand. Packed a bag. Had my boyfriend grab my TV. Loaded up my car and I left. Never moved back in my parents' place. I was done. I knew things had to change. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to support myself. I didn't know where I'd live. I just knew I had to change. And if I didn't change things soon, the next step would be me punching walls. That's how angry I was. I was in an in-between space. In-between spaces are fucking deep. They're really deep. But like barking dogs, they're gonna get your attention. All right. So even if, let's say, you have no money for witchy coloring books or pen or paper, or even you're in a place where you're laying in bed, you're unable to move, whatever the situation is for you, because I've been there. I've been there where I've been in so much pain. I could not move. I could not get dressed. I could not shower. But we can visualize. And what I used to do is I would visualize in small steps. I was unable to get up off the couch by myself. I was unable to get up off the toilet by myself. So my first visualization was being able to stand up without assistance. Then it was being able to stand up with letting go of supporting my weight with the walls and the counters. I'm now able to stand up with my own stomach muscles. Am I able to do it when I'm really fucking tired? No, I'll be honest, I'm still there. But I physically tapped into the in-between space with my visual, my third eye, our imagination, to see it and build it different. And by building it in my imagination first, I was then able to physically actualize it. This is the magic of manifestation. This has happened with my relationship with my husband. I got really clear on what I desired in sharing a life with someone and what that would feel like. In my work, I got very clear on where that hole was that I felt my creativity was unexpressed and how to channel it. And I wake up and channel it every day to my best ability. I started with a Facebook page. Then I went to a Facebook group. Then an Instagram gallery. Hey, you guys, come on. I've taught workshops. I had a international best-selling book that I authored a chapter I contributed about women on Amazon. I personally sold my book into a region of Whole Foods market, and it was featured as a gift pick. What I'm saying, it's like these dreams can happen. And for me, Oprah Winfrey really was my mentor, my model of that someone who had experienced trauma could excel with her own creativity, with her own efforts, with her own actions. She visualized it and she could see it. Has she had her struggles? Of course she has. But we all do. And we just keep going and learning. So, also, I shared in stories, just letting you know, my golden tea milk recipe for building up core digestive power and soothing the nervous system, all the nerve cells in our belly, our core, and our intestines. So you might want to check it out. I'm drinking that. It's bright yellow too. So anywho, Magic starts with the belief we have in ourselves. And when we believe in it, and those feels are up to 11, and we begin building it in our imagination, we can begin then having confidence in our ability to construct it in the material world that we are presently engaged with. Much love, big hugs, peace out.